Check 1 2, check 1 2. Danny P.
What up? What up?
The usual stuff. It's time for Danny P's pigskin picks, but I feel like I've said this almost every week. This week was crazy.
It was a crazy week. And wrapping up week 10 already.
Week 10, more than halfway through, and there was some crazy, exciting football action this last weekend for week 10. No doubt about that, too. And Danny, I did I did so bad. I got 6 out of 13, 6 out of 14 right. By far my worst week yet.
Well, there was upsets, and the Eagles, their little run is done. And honestly, it's going to be done because they'll start skidding now.
Are you saying the Eagles aren't going to fly?
No, I'm saying this is it, bro. This is that. They do it every single time. They have their nice little runs, and then when they lose, it's a wrap.
Yeah. And the Commanders came out to play,
Yeah, they did. They whooped.
Heineke, whatever his name is. Yeah, he did good.
He didn't just beat them; he whooped them.
And you know what's crazy too? And there was a couple interceptions, and then that run in at the end for the defense. You're like, where did that come from? Oh my gosh! Just Goddard stripped of the ball, and see you later. We're gonna score.
Yeah,
What?
they whooped the Eagles, but the Eagles are again. They're another one. They don't have a finishing punch, bro.
Interesting. Because we talked about it last week. The Eagles in the Super Bowl. Possibly. Now they're still 8-1, still the best record in the league.
There's still a lot of football. Still a lot more football.
There's still some football. There's still some teams in the hunt, probably like the Commanders, that are like, yeah, we still have a chance to make the playoffs. So we're still going to keep trying, and
sure.
We will put away teams. And it's got to feel good to beat the best team, by record, the best team in the league too. So the Eagles getting their first loss last night. Woo, going 8-1 now. So interesting. And I don't think anybody, except you might be the only one that actually picked the Eagles to win. However, our weekly winner is Jaime. Oh my gosh. Shout out to this guy, Jaime Garcia, winning in Danny P's Pigskin Picks, and he actually had the Commanders beating the Eagles.
I did too. I picked the Commanders. That was what I was screaming. We're going to beat.
Yeah. So crazy to see that too. And real quick, Danny, I'm going to share the screen here so we can look at the games real quick. A quick once over, because man, even our regulars, Eric Barron got like 7 right out of 14, and he's never coming that low. And it's like, dude.
Well, look at all the teams that fell, bro.
Yes.
Lot fell. Dallas. I mean, go down the list, bro. A lot fell, bro.
I felt like the Falcons were turning things around with Mariota playing solid ball, but then the Panthers, we talked about this earlier, they put in Baker Mayfield, who's been on the bench as the backup. They put him in and they win, and and they win by 10 points. So you're just kind of like, whoa. And the Panthers, their record now at 3-7.
Again, but Baker Mayfield is not a bad quarterback by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah. So
great quarterback? No, I wouldn't go as far as saying that. But I think he's better suited for their situation they're in right now.
Yeah, and the Falcons, another loss for them. So, both teams though pretty sad. And then the Seahawks, I picked the Seahawks to beat the Buccaneers because the Buccaneers were like, what? But let's be honest, the play of the game, Fournette throwing the interception intended for Tom Brady.
That's bananas.
Tom Brady going out for a pass at 45 years old and getting intercepted. You're like, not the best play call. I mean, Tom Brady runs like he's 45.
Yeah, he does. But he did beat him in another country.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, in Germany, they beat Seattle. And Seahawks, we're talking, man. They look like they were playing good ball, and they lost by what, 5 points, 16-21 was the final score.
Yeah.
So but I love that play. That was a great play, and they're in the red zone too, so could have been up by a couple touchdowns, but it didn't happen. However, Seahawks couldn't win against the Buccaneers in Germany, so I didn't pick that one. Shout out to Jaime picking that one. Jaime also picked the Vikings over the Bills, and there's talks of this being the game of the season. I wouldn't disagree.
That was probably the game of all games I've seen in a long time.
Yes, two legit teams, and people were questioning Minnesota's record of 7-1. Yeah, they really had that tough of a schedule, whatever. It's like, okay, but the Bills, a real contender. So we thought this is their second loss in a row now.
Yeah.
And we're talking about our Josh Allen guy, with that fumble, just at the end of the game, and that tied the ball game, and you're just like, all you got to do is hold on to the ball, get a first down, the game's in the bag. And Josh Allen's one of those dudes that he's very passionate about the game, blamed himself a lot, but the Vikings are a legit team. I mean, Justin Jefferson with that amazing one-handed catch that kept them in the ball game. You're like, woo.
There was 2 one-handed catches in that game.
Yeah. Yeah, there was.
There was 2 one-handed catches. Amazing though, bro. Amazing, to say the least. That was you look at those teams, they were both playing ball at high level, man. Down to the last tick on the clock.
Yeah, you're just like, oh my gosh. Both these teams wanted to win, no question about that. And I feel like, though, Vikings really had something to prove. Josh Allen coming after a loss, like, okay, I want to prove that, that we're not going anywhere. And you can see the frustration throwing his helmet, and just like, oh, geez. But the Vikings, man, I played against Justin Jefferson in one of my fantasy football leagues and was angry because I was like, how is this guy putting up 40 points? As a receiver, but you're like, ugh. But anyways, that's another story. But man, Vikings looking good. Dalvin Cook, running the ball, just looked tough. They looked really good. So
Dalvin Cook he's a beast, man.
Yes. So great game. Definitely the game of the week. Quite possibly the game of the season. And 2 amazing one-handed catches. Just really good. And you think too, you're thinking, oh, quick shout out here. Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Yvette.
What up, Yvette? Good morning.
My Rams homie. What's going on? But yeah, man, it's just, you should have took the safety. Should have. I think looking back, they probably should have. When you're on the half-yard line, 1-yard line, it's like, and the game's at stake, man. But then again, Josh Allen's been very reliable in those situations, but whether it was a bad snap or whatever.
He's what, 6'18"?
Yeah, he's a big dude. He's a big dude, and he can run, he can throw. Yeah.
Yeah, but even at that tall and he lays down, he could pick up the yard by just stretching out.
Yeah. But anyways, they're gonna look back at that and they're gonna go over that. They're probably going over that yesterday, today, tomorrow. Like
the snap was bad. I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah. Okay. Which can happen. It happens. So, Lions squeaked this one out, but Bears playing pretty tough. Justin Fields, I like the kid. I'm gonna say it.
He's good. He's really good.
Yeah, solid quarterback over Chicago. So, Chicago's one of those teams like, man, with Justin Fields, he can throw, he can run. He did throw that interception towards the end, but he made up for it by running in for 20 something yards for a touchdown too. It's like, okay, you got me once, but you're not getting me again. However, Jared Goff, the Detroit Lions, we know they got a great offense. We know they can score. They get one more point than the Bears for the win.
That matters. That's all that matters.
game of inches, and 1 point. And run down to the Chiefs, Jaguars. The Jaguars still it's a scrappy team, but the Chiefs are the Chiefs.
Yeah, and they're going to be that way for a while.
Yeah, yeah. Are they going to the Super Bowl? Quite possibly. Definitely in the playoffs. Definitely going to be a tough team to beat if you go head to head with them, no doubt.
Sure. You never. Again, that's a whole nother season. The playoffs are a whole nother season. So anything, we can't speak on that until we get there.
Yeah, all you got to do is get into the playoffs, and then it's a fresh start. So we'll have to see about that. Jaguars again. I like those guys, Trevor Lawrence. But it's just unfortunate to go 3. Yeah, boy. And then the Dolphins putting a whomp on the Browns, 39-17. Woo-wee. 39-17. The Dolphins now with Tua Tagovailoa back. It's like, woo, man.
He's a beast, man. That kid is awesome.
Fun to watch too. Fun to watch the Dolphins and the Browns. They're back to being the Browns.
Yeah, they are. Tough being a Browns fan. I can only imagine.
Yeah, tough being a Browns fan. Then Giants beating the Texans. I feel like this is one of those ones that everybody pretty much picked, and wasn't the prettiest game for the Giants, but they win 16-24. But the Giants, I feel like obviously this wasn't a test for them. We'll see, but they're 7-2.
Giants are in there, man. The Giants
7-2.
It's been a while, I think last time, we have to talk about Eli Manning.
Bring him back out of retirement?
No, it's the last time they were relevant, right?
Yeah, it's true. So got to respect the G-Men at this point with a solid record. Again, beat the Texans, not really a big deal, but 7-2, solid record. The Saints Steelers, a nothing burger game. Hate to say it, but the Steelers actually played pretty solid with Pickett against the Saints. The Saints is one of those teams too. They're good. Nah, they're not. No, they're not. Steelers, we kind of, with no Roethlisberger, you kind of had a feeling they weren't going to be that great. Still figuring things out over there. But yeah, Steelers, Saints, both their seasons. I don't know. Maybe the playoffs, 4% chance probably on both those teams.
I don't see it.
Yeah. Unfortunately for them, because we know Steelers fans, Broncos fans, both very passionate about their teams. Yeah, and Broncos Titans. Russell, another L.
I don't know what's happened. That's another one. I can't figure that out.
Yeah. Poor Broncos. Titans squeaked it out by a touchdown. I would call that the Titans don't want the game to be that close. You don't want it to be against the Broncos this year. But they won. They're 6-3, so solid contenders, no question about that. But beating the Broncos, it should have been a bigger gap on that score than 17-10. If you ask me. But Titans, still a tough team, though. Still a tough team.
For sure.
And everybody that's watching's favorite team, 90% of the people that watch our Pigskin picks, Raiders. Can we have a moment of silence? Raiders. And Danny, we talked about the press conference, too. With Bakersfield's own Derek Carr, and I like the kid, and he's not a kid anymore. He's been in the season in the league for eight years now. But man, he's had it tough over the Raiders, and to lose to the Colts.
I mean, honestly, you look at and I watched that press conference now a few times now, and I'm watching the frustration. I mean, he's an emotional dude.
Yeah.
And I get it. I mean, the frustration gets to you and emotions can take over. And I know that he's in a place that he's not really accustomed to. Or maybe he is, but I've never seen him show it like this before. publicly.
Yeah.
I've never seen any of the Carr brothers do that. Even in their college days, I've never seen them do that. I think the frustration though is that he's this. You hear him say that in that conversation during that press release where he's very emotional, crying, whatever. He says that
Yeah.
the disconnect with the guys, in the locker room. I don't know if they're not gelling together, or is it believe in the coach. I'm really confused about it because I kind of feel, you know, I know Derek likes Josh McDaniels. He said it, many a times. But is that? Yeah, I mean, what are you going to say? I don't like the coach. I don't like my coach.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to say that outright. I don't think.
Now, in the Raiders organization, if you could fire one person or I shouldn't say it like that, but if there was one person to let go of because they're not really doing their job, who would it be? Would it be head coach? Would it be defensive coordinator? Would it be offense? Would it be a player? Who do you look at? I feel, and I'll let you answer because I kind of feel like where I'm leaning with it.
Well, I mean, certainly, I mean, the obvious would be cut the head off the snake. So you go, okay, we cut the coach, and then it makes everybody, audience, crowd, believers, Raider Nation, feel better. Okay, I got rid of that. That's gone, guys. Well, let's move on. I don't know. I mean, Josh McDaniels, is he stellar? Is he superstar? Is he have a record?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's me personally. I think I think you and I talked about this Adley about the whole Raider situation. I think the days of the Davis family and the Raider organization are done. They need a fresh new start.
Yeah, interesting. Couple little shout outs here. I don't know if you guys are Raiders fans or not. What's up, EVP? Good morning, fellas. Yeah, try to stay warm because it is cold out here and in the office, by the way. And IE checking in. Good morning. Happy Tuesday, my friends. Happy Tuesday to you and Dallas Cowboys fan. That we're going to talk about that game next. But real quick, too, on the Colts side, new coach, a lot of enthusiasm, and Matty Ice is back. So two things going for it. And, and we talked about Saturday. You were more familiar with him than I am, but he's been around. He was back in the Peyton Manning days.
Right.
So he's been around for a minute. So we'll see how that goes over there to the Colts. But man, Raiders fans, I feel your pain.
Yeah, it's
feel your pain.
I feel for them too, because that's just I only feel, and I'm done with this thing. I only feel that it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah, and one shout out to Derek Carr. However, I think I know it's hard to not wear your emotions on your sleeve, but you're still the leader. But I get it. You're passionate, but you're still the leader.
Let me ask you this, Adley. You take a Derek Carr and you put him with another team. What kind of Derek Carr are we getting?
I don't know. That's a really tough question because I feel like there's one thing I feel like they've done everything to keep him. He had that injury when they were in the playoffs a couple years ago, stuck with him, and he's a talented quarterback. There's no doubt about that.
Totally agree. You put him with the Rams right now.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to want to go anywhere, even through all this. And dude, the Raiders have dealt with some tough situations. The whole Gruden thing, that was a nightmare mess, and Gruden didn't do that much better than Josh at this point. But you're dealing with all that stuff, a lot of changes, a lot of things. A lot of times when you go through big changes in management, people are like, who's in charge, believe it or not, and that stirs up a locker room too. It's like, wait, who are we supposed to be looking to for guidance? And it's changed a few times, and it's, oh my gosh,
I totally agree. You can't just keep beating on Derek Carr. Derek Carr is he's doing the best he can, man, with what he's got to work with. And he's got a pretty good team around him with Jake and Adams and Weller and I mean that squad is deep.
It's a good team. Yeah,
It's a
on paper,
really
it's a
good
really
team.
good team.
I
Yeah,
have to
and
go with coaching, bro. And I'm done. Turn the page on the Raider thing.
yeah,
I think it's the coaching situation. I think they're making terrible calls. The playbook is weak. I just don't. It makes no sense to me.
yeah. And the defense is lackluster though. That's the sad part. I feel like that's where issues lie too. But with that, again, Raiders fans, we feel your pain because
Yeah,
my team is not doing much better. But and then I think you know who felt some pain yesterday? Our buddy Dak Prescott over over at the Cowboys because losing by 3 to Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. And the Packers, I mean, last week we're like, ooh, this is the worst the Packers have been in a long time. And the Cowboys were looking really good, looking solid, but man, losing by a field goal, it's just kind of like it hurts. It hurts. So yeah,
yeah. Again, the Cowboys. Again, is that Dak's problem though? Did Dak? I
more to it. There's more
Yeah,
to it.
yeah. I think there's more to it. I think Dak is solid. I think Dak will be fine. Coming down the stretch, again, there's still a lot more. And in that division that they're in, I think they're strong.
Yeah, yeah. So they're still 6-3, still a solid winning record, still
Yeah,
playoff,
I
should be playoff bound.
I'll agree. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. And we'll just skip over the Cardinals, Rams. Rams. Granted, though, we played with well. The crazy part is we played with Wolford Heights, and and then Kyler Murray was out too, so they were playing with Colt McCoy as a quarterback. So, but two backup quarterbacks playing. So,
Yeah, and Colt McCoy's not a bad quarterback.
he did decent.
Yeah.
Helped win the game too, 27-17, beating the Rams with the backup. And Wolford had a couple good plays too. So, you know, but yeah, Rams are just Cooper Cup going out too. That one hurts. That hopefully it's not serious, but I mean, even at this point in the season, if he needs that time to heal, then by all means heal up and let's revisit next year. Um, yeah, it's just
Is it?
tough
Is
for
it?
the Rams.
I'll ask you this: is the season over for the Rams?
With Cooper Cup out and Stafford out, very very questionable to say the least. And we don't have a running game. We don't really have that running power that we need. Yeah. So
No run.
any
Yeah.
any fan, nobody wants to say, we're giving up on the season, but it's going to be tough to turn this around
Yeah.
and possibly make the playoffs. It's going to be very tough, very tough.
The tough hill to climb back up. I'll agree.
Whew, yeah. Now your 49ers beating the Chargers.
Yeah, but that wasn't by any stretch of the imagination, that wasn't a massive win for the 49ers. It was a win, and we'll take a win's a win.
Yep.
I just, again, I just don't understand Shanahan's his play calls. Some of those plays, man, you have now. Again, this is that situation where you look at the 49ers and you go, they have stacks and stacks of talent. They can pull off their talent and bring in the subs, and they're still talented.
Yeah.
But we're not. So I mean, here am I praising the Niners? Sure. But here's the downside that really bothers me is that we're not utilizing them. You have Christian there in the back who can run, and you brought back Elijah Mitchell. So why aren't we lining up a Debo to go out? He's a receiver.
Yeah, he's a receiver first. He can run the ball, but he's a receiver first.
Receiver.
Yeah.
Correct. Why aren't we utilizing Kittle more? You know what I mean?
Yes.
These types
Yes,
of,
you're right. I noticed that this week too.
we should have been up. We should have been up by 2 or 3 more touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easier said than done, and I get that. I get that. I'm just saying that with those kind of players, almost any team in the league would love to have that kind of arsenal healthy at this point in the season. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're absolutely correct. And McCaffrey, you're playing against the other running back against the Chargers against Eckler, which looked pretty solid too. But
Great game.
But 49ers, yeah, they there's some kinks to work out. They're still sitting at 5-4. They should be good for the playoffs. Just the fact that they're in the West right now, so they've got a really good shot. They're only one game behind Seattle. So
Next week, go to Mexico City Monday night, play the Cardinals, which should be a win.
Yeah, should be. We know the Cardinals are scrappy, so should be. Yeah, so, and we talked about the Commanders and the Eagles. Commanders beating the Eagles, the only undefeated team until last night. So, woo, crazy. But we're gonna jump to next week too, real quick, Danny. Just let's take a quick glimpse at week 11, and shout out to everybody watching. If you want to get in on this pick action, make sure you go to groove993.com and get your picks in. And a weekly prize is going out too. I think we're going to be, we got a family 4-pack of tickets to the Condors. We're going to hook up Jaime with. So we'll be reaching out to Jaime Garcia. Shout out to you, man. Getting 11 right, which is insane. You had a great week this week. So
good job.
We're looking at Jaime's picks right now, as a matter of fact. And he's got the Titans over the Packers. Yeah. I feel like we'll see though. We'll see. I don't know. If the Packers start if Aaron Rodgers starts playing good like he did last week, then maybe they got a shot, because the Titans, excuse me.
That's a tough defense there in Tennessee. Oh,
yeah. But they, again, they barely beat the Broncos. So watch that offense. But,
at this point in the season,
Derrick Henry over there. So let's see.
At this point in the season, Adelaide, a W is a W.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. You need the win. Yeah. You got the Bears over the Falcons. That's a toss-up for me right now, but I think he's right.
I'm taking the Bears. Yeah.
Yeah, the Bears with Justin Fields.
Yeah.
And I think you're right there. Ravens Panthers. Baker Mayfield back. Is there a spark over there in Carolina? We'll have to see. And the Ravens, coming off they have a bye week, right? They didn't play this last week, so
right.
Yeah, they had a bye week, so we'll see how that pans out. But I'd probably stick with the Ravens on this one. You got Lamar Jackson too,
and you have a coach named Harbaugh.
Yeah. So solid coaching.
Yeah.
Buffalo Bills, Cleveland Browns. It better be the Bills, or things will get ugly in Buffalo. That's safe to say.
That could really become lopsided really fast, though.
Yeah. You can't lose to the Cleveland Browns, even though they beat Cincinnati a couple weeks back in a stomping. But you can't lose to the Browns. You can't, if you're the Bills, especially. Commanders, Texans.
Going with Commanders.
Commanders, yeah. Texans are just so bad this year.
Jeez.
One win on the season, Texans. Woo. Okay. Eagles, Colts. After last night, watching the Eagles play, we'll see. The Colts, some new fire over there. Maybe. This will be my one. Maybe I might go with the Colts on this. However, the Eagles they don't like having that loss, even if it's a one loss. They could come out shooting.
I'm gonna say, here comes the skid.
Here comes the skid. And if it's against the Colts, here comes possible a resurgence in the Colts, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe. Interesting. Okay, so we'll have to watch that game. I actually want to watch that game. Let's see. Jets, Patriots. We know the Jets are 6-3. Patriots 5-4. Patriots had a solid win last week. This week they're on a bye. We're on a bye. But we'll see. We talk coaches. Belichick.
And Saleh knows Belichick very well. Very well. He was really a key component in making that, speaking to the front office there for the 49ers when they brought Garoppolo over. He knows a lot about New England.
Yeah. So that'll be a fun game to watch too, I think. I'm leaning towards the Jets on that one. However, that should be a close game. Rams, Saints. I'm going to go with my Rams, but I think this is going to be a tougher win, a tougher battle, because I think the Saints are scrappy.
Yeah, I think Rams can get him.
I think
Saints
Rams
are
can get out.
they're in a bad spot too right now. Nola.
Yeah. They're in a tough situation too. Yeah, no question about that. And then the Lions, Giants. I feel like the Lions know how to put up points. Can the Giants defense hold them?
Giants go. I think the Giants run them. I think is that in New York? I thought it was for what
I
for some.
think so. I agree.
Yeah, New York is repping, bro. New York is repping right
Yeah,
now, and in that house, I think it's tough to get them. I think it's
yeah.
very.
I think at the end of the day, I think Giants are going to pull it out. They're
Yeah.
a good team, you know. But Lions, I don't know. Again, they can score. So let's see. Broncos Raiders, great rivalry here.
Wow.
I've picked the Raiders the last 4 weeks.
I'm torn.
Was this the week they win?
Can Carr smash Russell?
And it's like, oh my gosh, Raiders, you need to win bad. Come on, Raiders,
Come on, Raiders. You guys.
beat the Broncos.
I say yeah. I say they can.
Raiders, you broke my heart the last 5 weeks. Come on, beat
Raiders
the
will
Broncos. Come on.
smash the Broncos.
Yeah. Cowboys Vikings. Anaí, a big Cowboys fan. Emilio, a big Cowboys fan too. So Manuel G, Cowboys fan.
Oh my God, this is a game to watch, man. This is
Yeah,
really a game to watch. My heart is gonna go with my people because we have you and I, all our friends who are Cowboy fans. My heart's gonna go with Dak, but geez, that's a tough team, man.
yeah. I'm going with the Vikings for the win. Sorry. I think the Vikings. They had a tough test with the Bills, pulled it out. I think they're going to beat the Cowboys.
I
Sorry.
think going with the Cowboys on this one, man. I think this is where we see Dak opening up the field, and Dak being being Dak. I think he didn't want to lose to a field goal, so I think there's a
Yeah, nobody does. Nobody
no.
does, man. Oof. Yeah. Bengals Steelers. Yeah, whatever. Probably go with that's a toss up for me too. Chiefs Chargers. Good game. Should be a fun game to watch. We'll see though. There's still a couple injuries over the Chargers, but
Don't rule out the Chargers, man. They
I know.
lost to the 49ers, but they played well. That team that's not a like you would go, that's a cream pie team. No, but no, they're tough. They're
Yep.
they're really, really tough. And possibly getting Bosa back. They might get Joey back. I don't know if Keenan Allen's coming back anytime soon, but you're missing some key players like that. But if they get Joey Bosa back, look out. Mahomes.
Yeah, you still got Eckler on the Chargers. You still got Herbert, so
Yeah.
you're still in pretty good shape. So, yeah. And then our Monday night game, 49ers Cardinals, Danny.
They'll smash them. Niners will smash the Cards.
That's a professional, non-biased opinion.
They're gonna eat up. They will be the bird that night in Mexico City. And you know what? Hey, when you're in Mexico, you got to get the guac.
Ooh, nice. It's a taco celebration for the 49ers Monday night.
Woo!
All right. Well, thanks everybody for checking out Danny P's Pigskin Picks. If you want to play and get your picks in, week 11 starts on Thursday. So head to groove993.com, get your picks in, and then, chat with us on Tuesday mornings. We talk about it. And thanks everybody for playing. One last shout out to Jaime Garcia for winning week 10. And we'll be reaching out to you here pretty soon. We got a family 4-packet tickets to the Condors.
Hey, Adelaide, I don't know if we'll be back on that Tuesday morning because after the game, you and I are going to leave Mexico City and head to Papa's and Beers.
Papa's and Beer, classic. Oh my gosh, yes.
We're going. here, guys.
Well, yeah, we're going to pop some beer after, right there in Rosarito.
Yeah. Before we head back, we're going to pop some beer.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So, with that, though, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Danny P, thank you.
Appreciate you
Have
guys.
a great one, and we will see you guys next time. Groove 99.3.